All right. Deadman's Tome Podcast. Your host, Mr. Deadman, Becky, and SK. How is it going?
Well, it's Wednesday. Come on.
Hump day. Yep. Got that midweek feel to it.
It's the day that's, not as shitty as Monday, but still not Friday.
So it's No Pants Wednesday?
No Pants Wednesday, definitely. Yeah, yesterday was No Shirt Tuesday. Today is No Pants Wednesday. But you know what?
Damn it, I missed No Shirt Tuesday?
Oh, no. You were there last night. Wait.
I tried to enforce this no shirt policy with my neighbor, and it did not go well.
Did she smack the shit out of you?
Well, no, but her Great Dane was not pleased.
Oh. Were you trying to take off her shirt? I mean, you can't. That's a little...
Well,
no,
I
Great
did
Danes, Jussie.
All right.
Tried to tell her it's a real thing, but no.
Oh, well. Our guest tonight, we have the lovely...
I'm totally staying away from the no pants thing.
Oh, of course. Only classy gentlemen like our guest, Peter North. We got the legendary porn star, Peter North, on the show.
What?
Round of applause. I mean, how does this happen? How does a podcast no one knows about get such a great guest? The first thing I have to ask you, are those protein shakes real that you sell?
Well, yes,
they're for sale.
Yeah. I mean, like I heard he sells a protein shake that enhances, enhances as a man's protein.
It's for a man's, not made of a man.
Oh. Did I read it wrong?
It's not made of his personal protein, right? Let's find out. We have the guy here, right?
Well, you have to preserve some mystery of the ingredients, or I'm going to get ripped off here.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So I guess we'll never know.
Well, it's enough that I'm revealing that Peter's my true first name, and that I'm really not this middle-aged blonde guy. I'm this older, brawny, brunette guy from Canada.
Yeah, I believe.
Whoa!
Right.
I was told no Canadians on this show when I started. What's going on?
Who the hell told you that?
It was a policy. It was a policy I somehow wrote for some reason. I don't know how it got stuck. I don't know who added it. I really don't know.
The damn midgets erased it on my calendar, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, let's pretend I'm from Florida then. We'll pretend I'm from Florida.
Oh, even better.
No, that's not any better.
Oh no, that's lovely.
It is better. It's the drain for the United States.
You drain that
drains down into it.
You can drain that crazy right into the show. America. Just drain that crazy right into this show, full blast. You can make a marathon of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of marathon, we reached our sub goal. We have 1K subs finally. So we're gonna do a 20 submissives. Yeah, we got 1,000 submissives that have joined the cult.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. Now I hope you're okay with the SK because they're a bunch of dudes. Are you cool with that?
Well, I mean...
You mean... Wait a minute. They're all dudes?
Yeah, all the submissives are dudes. They're all dudes.
I have a following!
Yes,
Yay!
it's Becky's following.
No, I'm kidding.
Right.
Oh, shit. No. Don't say that because then I'll get 1,000 dick pics.
I thought you already get that.
1,000 more.
All right. Another thing.
That's not.
So we're gonna have a 24-hour stream, a 24-hour marathon stream. Pretty soon we'll have to plan that. I still owe the butt crack waxing.
Are we still talking about the protein shakes?
No.
Yeah. All right, change the subject. Good.
Yeah.
That 24-hour stream thing had me worried.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
That's good. All right. One other announcement I have before because Becky, we don't have any ads or anything, do we?
No.
Okay. All right. We had a huge loss in the writing community. W.H. Pugmire passed away. He was.
Yeah, he was 67 too.
Mm-hmm. He was a huge influence to many writers, especially in the Lovecraft area. I mean, right now there's a lot of people that are feeling a heavy loss because how
Right.
I don't know how involved he was. I mean, I was watching one of his videos today where he's talking about his favorite stories and go on. And the guy's full of passion. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I knew him, like I've ever crossed paths or I worked with him. I'm not going to pretend that, but I can, and I do understand the loss that the people could and are feeling right now.
Well, you still can attempt to walk in his footsteps, though. You could best remember him that way.
Yeah,
Right.
I could.
Yeah.
What
could happen? You could do it. You could do it, man. I know you could do it.
What I'm going to do is have a shot for him.
Just ask me to be quiet.
I'm going to have a shot of this Woodford Reserve.
What do you think, Stephen, is the best way to follow in his footsteps? What's a real good way to honor that?
That is a very good question that would probably be best answered after I took a long swallow of this whiskey I'm holding.
So, step one, drink a bunch of whiskey.
Yes. And, you know, I'm glad you interpreted it that way because it probably would be the best first step.
Mm-hmm. That is the best step. I feel better already.
And then, right.
Well, I don't.
I think, I mean, especially if you're someone who's worked with them and you
pause a moment and just kind of let it burn a little.
Yeah,
right?
You got to feel that burn.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you worked with them and you knew them on a personal level, just remember the fond times that you had with them. You know, going through a loss is difficult. Yeah. But, you know, a coworker of mine asked me, why is it, and this might sound almost racist. She said, why is it that Mexicans always party all the time? And then I was like, whoa, what? But she asked me because I'm married into a Hispanic family, pretty much. And I was like, because every day pretty much is a party. You have to make it a party. Every day is pretty much like a fiesta. I mean, you got to make it one. Otherwise it's just going to be horrible. I mean, you got to find something to celebrate. I mean, so what I'm saying is those that are close to you, that you love, they're near, those that the people that mean a lot to you, I don't know, hug them extra close, bring them in, celebrate that time with them. Even it's like little things, like talk to them over like Facebook Messenger or Skype or whatever. If they're distant from you, if you know them personally, go meet them. Go actually meet them. Spend time with them. That means everything, right? Or is that just touchy-feely stuff? Man, I feel man, this is like a lifetime special now. Okay.
You've either had too much whiskey or not enough.
I need some Midol. That's what I need. Okay, guys, let's
oh my Lord.
You don't have to be embarrassed for loving people. That's what we're here to do.
Am I hearing that?
I mean, when it all comes down to it, that's what we're here on Earth to do. And sadly, some people are really shitty at it.
Is that what?
Right.
Are these words actually coming out of SK's mouth?
I was listening to Barry White before you all called.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
You were doing what?
I listened to some Barry White before I got this call. You know?
Oh, man.
They say that too much of anything ain't good for you, baby. I don't know about that.
All right. Okay, so to frame the show, we'll talk about Jussie Smollett a little bit. We'll talk about, we'll share some embarrassing stories. But first, who is Stephen A. North? Stephen North, who are you and what do you do?
All right. Well, let's see. I would say, the bare bones things. I've got a bachelor's degree in English literature. I was in the Army Reserve as a military policeman. I have worked in retail for close to 32 years.
Okay, so you
Most of
experienced
it
hell.
with one company.
Yeah, that's hell pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if I didn't like people, I never would have survived. Fortunately, that gets me through. But I do work in a place that I won't identify, but I would tell you that it's like Jerry Springer world.
Oh, in a good way?
And there's a lot of pictures on the internet. There's a lot of pictures of people that shop there on the internet. I don't want to mention it by name,
And
yes,
they may or may not be headquartered in the South.
Well, I guess that's south of you guys, right? It's north.
I'm in Texas.
What's that?
Oh, I'm in Texas. I think SK's in Seattle and Becky's like somewhere, I don't know where.
SK's in Washington.
Yeah. All right. So you work in hell. You work in actually Jerry Springer Land actually sounds pretty fun. I mean, I'll just get some popcorn and watch it all day.
Well, I will tell you, a guy was wanting to return a stripper pole last night. So
that's fantastic.
I'm guessing it was open.
He claimed it wasn't, but
it fell out of the box.
He didn't have a receipt, but he wanted a refund.
Oh,
what's the story? I would ask them.
But it's all these things that happen in that place definitely have fueled some of my writing, and I've served and observed the best and the worst of humanity for several decades now. So I still don't hate people, so I guess that's
wow.
a good thing, right?
To
Have you
observe.
talked to your therapist about that?
Yeah, right.
There could be something going on. I'm just saying.
I've sought professional help. It helps sometimes.
Doc, I just don't hate people enough.
I
really should.
To be like a fly on the wall to watch the interaction between you and the guy with the stripper pole. I just want to hear his story. There's sometimes we're just like, okay, come on now, come on. You tried this thing out, you embarrassed yourself.
A guy bought a stripper pole.
Well, he claims here's the messed up part. He claims his son bought it for him for his girlfriend. So it was a very strange phone call.
That's an odd one.
Yes.
Okay,
but
wait a minute.
I haven't violated anything in mentioning this, but
so the guy that brought the stripper pole in said his son bought it for his girlfriend.
Wow.
Yes, the father's girlfriend.
That's amazing.
And I didn't get the reason why they didn't want it, but maybe I got the idea that maybe the girlfriend couldn't use it. Maybe I don't know.
It was too soon for Mother's Day.
Oh man.
Or maybe the guy couldn't use it. Maybe he was.
Yep. Well, okay. So, how did you start? How did
Kelly
this go
Evans
to start
said,
writing?
I got you something, dear. I hope you like it.
Yeah, right. So, how do you start writing?
I wrote my first. I wrote my first story in 6th grade. Believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty cool. I can't tell you that it was a very good story, honestly, but as the years passed, I loved reading so much that I sort of wanted to write my own stories, and I can remember seeing Dawn of the Dead when I was 16 at a midnight movie, and I really wanted to write what I thought would happen, and I wouldn't write a zombie story for another probably 6 or 7 years after that. But I did finally do it. I was, I don't know if you all have heard of, well, I won't mention other publishers just because I want to plug you guys.
No. It's fine.
It was Permuted Press. Permuted Press. When they first started, they were just publishing mostly zombie stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it, and I'm like, can I do this? And the bad part is once I started writing it, you do find it go into these dark places where, you know, can I keep going? And I was able to, because I do think, you know, there's messages you can. I'm not somebody that's trying to hit anybody over the head with a philosophy, but I did talk about, you know, I had a lot of characters in this first book, the zombie book. It was called Dead Tide. And so I got a good cross section of people. And, you know, of course, if you have a lot of them are going to die. So.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and it's a zombie book. You're going to have some huge death told.
Yeah.
Now, why zombies, though? I mean, I know you got your love from, you know, Night of the Living Dead and all that, but, I mean, what's like, why zombies? Like, what is it about zombies?
Well, that Dawn of the Dead movie, he was comparing people to the zombies, the shoppers. You know, the way they of mindlessly go to the malls and they walk around and you know, you can see them doing it in the movie. The zombies are walking around like shoppers, you know?
Yeah, they are. That was
right.
That was it. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was very interesting commentary. The guy was very insightful. But my first novel was an alien invasion story set in Tampa.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I always kind of felt that if the world came to an end, it would start in Tampa. But that's like my joke about Tampa. My Tampa friends don't like me much for that one, but I thought it would come to an end in Tampa. But,
I totally believe
I wrote that book for...
I mean, you have any idea what's going on? Of course, what's going on right now in Florida? Florida's crazy.
Ybor would be the end of the earth. I could see that happening, really.
I had some fun there.
I like Ybor. Don't get me wrong. I mean...
Yeah.
But they crazy.
Okay.
You could get some crazy people there.
No, I have to ask you something, though. Okay, because zombies, and of course, some people listening will be like, man, zombies are overplayed. And this is coming from someone who just released an anthology not too long ago, Bikers vs. Zombies. So where I'm coming from is zombies can still be used. You just have to be clever with it. Now, how do your zombies in Dead Tide differ from, let's say, any other zombie book?
Okay, well, I would say they're more the traditional George Romero type zombies.
Okay.
The original.
Nice.
I dig that.
So
they're not doing like hardcore. They're not doing like stunts or flips and shit like they're doing some books.
Well, one scene I'll give away. There's this a character that's a stripper in the book, and she's driving home after working, and she doesn't see this guy in the road and hits him and crashes into a ditch after running over him, and she comes to with somebody yanking on her arm, trying to and it's this guy that she hit was a zombie. And he starts attacking her, but he's a zombie that's lost his dentures. Just gumming her. He's gumming her thighs, right? And so she thinks he's a pervert and kills him, not even realizing he's a zombie.
Is she in Japan?
So that was, and I had a lot of fun with that. I try to get some humor in there, you know. It's not all gloom. Although one lady did say that my book was a dance of hopelessness. So
that's a good sign.
I guess it's whether you like dark humor or not, but I don't like turning the book into a joke. You know, I keep it.
No.
I try to moderate that, but there's got to be humor in there.
Yes, yeah. You got to make it funny a little bit. Because come on, I mean,
right?
Because zombies themselves are kind of funny. I mean, have you ever thought about what a real life zombie would even be, or how it could even be done?
Oh, well, the only way I think it really wouldn't be a traditional zombie. It'd probably be somebody like in the Army. I was a nuclear, biological, chemical sergeant for my platoon.
Oh, wait.
So I had to train everybody wearing those suits.
Hold on. Did you test?
I had to.
You test
I'm sorry,
nukes?
what?
Did you have to test nukes?
No. But I had to make sure everybody knew how to put their suits on right, and you only have, so many seconds to put it on, or you're going to die. So I spent a lot of time thinking about this type of thing, but I think it would be something like in the air that scrambled your brain or whatever, that maybe activated some kind of over aggressiveness where you just have an urge to kill.
Yeah,
I think that'd be the closest to that ever happening personally. But
that I could see,
like Reavers,
like Reavers.
Yeah,
like
but
Reavers.
The whole parasites idea is an interesting one, too. And
yeah, the problem I have with the zombie concept is not how they happen, but what happens after you've gotten a large majority of the population as zombies. If they're these brain-dead, slow-moving things, they're just walking food for carnivores, for predators.
Right.
Who would decimate them pretty damn quick. Within 2 years, they'd be pretty much gone.
I think the elements would do that too fairly quickly. And that's why my books are really it's only there's 4 of them so far, and only a few weeks have gone by in those books. It's not a major amount of time. Florida, I think you'd have these corpses rotting, falling apart pretty quick. The heat is just,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all you would have to do is wait it out. Just survive long enough to wait it out, because they're going to decompose eventually, right? All the way through and through.
Right.
I mean,
they're going to decompose. They're going to burn up. They're going to fall into pits and rivers and get eaten by bears and wolves and dogs and cats.
Yep.
And the only worry would be if the virus was still in everybody, is just every time somebody dies, one's going to be created. But
right.
And that's the part that's totally so weird. Like, I can't even think how that's even possible. A virus, because of course viruses take on the host, they thrive on the host, they depend on the host to live, right? But a virus that's evolved enough to jumpstart and reanimate someone, get their heart pumping again, get the brain thinking again, at least on the basic level, get the lungs breathing again. You don't really, it's like, that's a super, like, what virus can even do that? Like, I can't think of.
I don't know, but they need to invent one and send it to Washington. Sorry.
Well, if you thought about
Florida,
if you start thinking about though how they're messing around with these these little tiny nanobots to alter your health or rejuvenate you, and what if something went wrong with that, and you've got all these little things in you that bring you from the brink of death if you almost died, but if you turn insane and you have this ability to regenerate, that's a thought I've had.
Like Peter North's protein shake.
It's
full of those little things that are going to enhance your life. Yeah, like those nanobots.
Kelly Evans said Ebola crossed with mad cow with a touch of syphilis.
It has like the touch of God to bring you back to life. Like that's like Jesus level stuff, man.
What if you didn't actually die? What if it actually just kept you from dying?
Oh,
right.
Well, then I have to wonder. Okay, how did you?
It just keeps the autonomic systems up and running.
Okay, so just enough for the heart to pump, or whatever the bare minimum that your body would need.
Bare minimum. Very minimum.
I mean, you would. Then that human would be.
I mean, clearly
weak.
they're not,
right
out there.
Whoa! Who's barking?
I have Cujo.
You have Cujo?
Sorry, man. I was hungry.
No. Oh man! Wait, SK, you can't be walking outside with your dog again. That's how you got hurt the last time. Your dog pissed on the ground. You slipped. You fell.
She just saw a cat outside. That's all. Easy, puppy.
All right.
I did write a sci-fi zombie story with Eric S. Brown quite a while ago, though, where humanity's out in the space and we come across this planet and it's inhabitable by humans, and they go down there and there's evidence of another civilization. And what it is, though, is humans were out in space. We're positing this, that long before, and Earth's just like a colony of the original humans. Mm-hmm. But this place that they find is a race of creatures that we killed off, and they left something behind to get revenge on us. And it's a zombie virus. And
oh wow!
They booby-trapped us.
And so but this book is out of print right now. It's called Barren Earth.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to get it back in print. I actually have a fairly good start on a sequel or enlarging the book.
Yeah, I have the book on screen right now. That is an interesting cover. And you said Eric S. Brown. Now that is...
Yes. Are you familiar with him?
I'm very familiar with how prolific he is. That motherfucker could turn out a book like once... like every 2 days. I don't know. I look on his Facebook feed. It's like, man. New book. I'm like,
trying to keep up with him when I wrote that with him was interesting. I'm glad I had a lot of time back then.
I featured one of his stories in a Sci-Fi issue of Deadman's Tome, which is probably like I love them all. They're all my children, right? I love all the books released, but it's kind of the weaker one, It's like, kind of going to sci-fi territory. It's like, you can kind of tell, but it has some good stuff. Eric S. Brown's story was good. I enjoyed it.
I missed. I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I was pretty much using it.
I missed out submitting a story. Oh yeah, it was a great experience. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah,
but trying to keep up with him is a challenge.
Oh yeah, I bet so. It's like a freaking marathon, man.
Yeah, but he's living the dream now. He's doing comics and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, he is. He's a hard worker. Now, wait. Yeah. Okay, so you were writing since you were young. You how many books do you have out there? How many stories and books do you have out?
It's like 6 of them. I think that are still in print right now, and then there's that out of print Barren Earth, and I've got a bunch of short stories, and I actually have quite a few unpublished short stories now that I need to make a collection with. Okay. And one of them I wanted to submit to you guys, and work's just been killing me, my real world job lately, but it was a Nazi versus zombies story. But maybe I can still work something out. I just want to clean it up a little bit, and because it was my first short story I ever published.
I think
Well,
yeah. I mean, we had an anthology. It was Monsters versus Nazis. It did just release. Now, I mean, if we get more submissions, maybe a sequel. Another one could come out. Maybe.
Okay.
I've been receiving some things, being like, "Oh man, I missed it. Can I send this story in?" I'm just like, I don't have an open call for it, but I mean, if you want to hold on to it for me, that'd be great.
Sure.
But yeah,
it was published a long time ago, and the book's out of print now. So
okay, so the 6 novels you have out, at least that are in print, that's pretty good. I mean, we can go over that right now. We can go over your work. I mean, it sounds like you're pretty prolific. I mean, Are you trying to stay on the Eric S. Brown track record, trying to like churn out a book every 2 days?
I'd have to be a full-time writer to do what he does.
Yeah.
And I think basically he is now. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, he worked for the same company I did. I don't think he'd be mad at me for saying that. He actually made the cover of their magazine that they put out for employees.
Did he?
So, I mean, he's something else. He was working part-time for him back then, though, and now he does. I don't think he works anything but his writing jobs.
That's good.
So, I mean, I would love to be that prolific, but I don't. Well, I don't know if I could, even if I.
Let's aim to help you get there. No, I'm not Felix the Cat with a magic bag of tricks or anything, but what I can say is that from what I gathered from various guests is, to continue working on, work on your craft, work on your novels, your stories. And then we had a guest, Brian Meeks. He was on talking about he writes copy. Apparently, he's pretty good at it. I've been practicing some of his little tips he gave me, and it seems like it's helping. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But so let's talk about these books you have out right now. The 6 books that are out in print. Which one should people go to if they haven't read any of your work yet?
Oh, okay. Well, the short stories, I have, I think, 3 2-story deals going for 99 cents each. So if they were afraid they didn't want to spend $5.99 on a book, then you could try my short stories. I have sci-fi stories, horror. I've got some thriller type ones. The thriller ones are maybe a little more edgy as far as going into. Well, I don't want to ruin anything for people, but the descriptions are pretty good in there that tell you what to expect. Four of the novels are. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I know. Yeah. The guests always say, "I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it." I don't want you to ruin it either. But I do like a little tease. I do like a little tease on what's going on. So let's pick one.
Okay.
Let's pick a story. Pick a story. We can go into it.
Well, like for instance, there's this one called Tusk, and it was just reviewed by Ursula Raphael.
Okay.
And it's a story about a dentist that he's getting a little elderly now, and he says to you, the very first line of the book is, at heart, I am a collector of things.
Oh.
If something catches my attention, I put it in my collection. That's his first lines. And he is talking to his neighbor, an attractive blonde, who is fascinated by the adventures and what he's collected. And she seems to have a little bit of it's like the women that watch a boxing match, and you can tell that they're really into it, right? Watching a couple of guys beat each other bloody.
Yeah.
Well, she's like one of those women, and she's very into what he has to say. And she happens to find for lack of a better word, a tusk on his desk. And she asks about it, and that leads into a story. And so that's one I think that people might be intrigued by.
Interesting. Now, are you aware of...
yes.
Do you know who Kevin Smith is?
Yes.
The filmmaker?
The filmmaker.
He's... Kevin Smith, a filmmaker. Okay, I thought you meant a writer. No. Maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
The reason why I ask is because he had a movie called Tusk. And I was thinking...
Whoa. Okay. I don't know what that's about. Is it a vampire type story?
No.
Oh.
It's one of those movies where you have to. I think it was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is. If it is, you definitely have to check it out just for the absurdity of it.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, the movie's about this podcast asshole who is like wanting to explore everything that's out there because it just wows him. Sounds kind of like me, I guess. And he goes out to see this guy who talks about how something about like like a walrus. I don't know how he brings him out there. I forgot. But next thing you know, he's pretty much being experimented on, and he goes full walrus. They transform him into a walrus. That doesn't even spoil the movie, because just the fact it's one of those ones where you have to watch like it unfold. It's so wild, it's so fucking crazy. So does that happen here? Are we talking about walrus?
Okay.
Does this?
It's not like that. No.
Okay.
Oh, good.
But I had some fun in it. The dentist goes down in Mexico, in the Yucatan, they have these. The name is escaping me of what they call them, but they date back to the Aztecs. There are these holes in the ground with water in them. They're like, they used them as wells. Well, he goes down into one. It's not. I guess that'd be a technical term, but there's another term for it, and it's terrible that I probably should not have taken a couple of sips of whiskey.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just doing it.
Yeah, we don't want to waste time with that. But anyway, he goes down into one with two other guys, and she hears the story, and he goes from there.
I
think it's probably
like they're like giant sinkholes with caves deep down.
It's called a cult. I think it's called a cholton is what you call it.
A cholton.
A cholton.
What is a cholton?
Yes.
I don't think I've heard that word before.
They're like sheer-sided holes in the ground, and there's water down there. The water table's high in the Yucatan, so
nice.
And the Aztecs and Mayans would go down in those places, and anyway, we'll leave it at that on that one. But I write some sci-fi ones. I've got a thriller story called The Stupid Train, where a guy is going to
Stupid Train
kill his ex-wife and his ex-best friend. The Stupid Train, yeah, that one is an interesting title, right? When you're riding on a stupid train, you don't.
Washington, D.C.
Whoa.
Well, you're not always aware you're riding on a stupid train.
Yeah.
Well, that would be true.
That would be true.
And it's hard to get off.
What's going on with the scare package? That one's another dentist story. Yes, man. That was a charity anthology. Were you traumatized by dentists?
No, but I'm heavily influenced by things like sedation dentistry is the name of the story in that one. And there was always this ad going on several years ago for this guy that, hi, I'm Bob Jones, and if you're nervous about having your teeth worked on, try my sedation dentistry, and he had this like almost Mr. Rogers type voice, on the ad.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wrote sedation dentistry for my former publisher. I was teasing him. He was a dentist.
Oh man.
And it's probably my most horrific story as far as gross. The sedation dentistry one.
Well, let me ask you though. Okay, so this is the grossest you've gone. What is there a topic or subject that you won't touch?
I can't say that that's necessarily true. I have so many projects started that I'm sure I'll die before I write all the stories that I have planned. Like I was telling you, though, I can be influenced by just a term for a title for a story.
Yeah.
Like there's a sci-fi one I wrote that's based off of my retail work. It's called Purchase Order. And it's in the future where people are a commodity. Where the planet Earth is overpopulated, and if you commit a crime, it's kind of I tied it into England when they were just going crazy transporting people to Australia if they stole something, or whatever. Send them to Australia.
Yeah,
I don't know if you all know that, but they sent all their convicts there.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of did this in the future where they're using people out in space because it's like the only commodity Earth still has to offer, right? And so you actually, if you committed a crime, end up being at the mercy of what they can actually do to you.
I can tell you, you can launch Jussie Smollett into space. You can launch his ass into space. I wouldn't even hesitate. Man, that motherfucker. Yeah. I guess we kind of segue into that just real fast. That guy, when they're coming out saying that Jussie Smollett is not guilty. That's what some articles were saying.
Oh, nobody said he was not guilty.
I know that's what's funny.
He was not. He has not been to trial, so there's no guilt or innocence.
Well, actually,
there's just no charges.
The charges were dropped, but he was not exonerated.
Right.
The even the mayor said, "Man, no, he did it. He made some sort of he made some sort of plea deal. He paid when he gave up his bond.
No, if there's a plea deal, there would be a record.
Well, that's the thing.
The entire case file has disappeared.
Well, that's the other thing about it. He did do some sort of plea deal because he gave up his bond. He did give up a lot of money. He also did, quote, community service, whatever that community service was, which is probably bullshit. And then the record disappeared. The record goes away.
Yeah.
Now that...
Let me tell you, the county clerk is displeased with that.
Everyone is. Except for Smollett and a few people who are still on his side, which is, I'm like, man, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. You guys are crazy. You're just cray. Wake up. I mean, come on.
On an unrelated note, the DA's daughter has been admitted to USC.
Has been what?
Never.
He's talking about because of the
that's a bribery joke.
The bribery college.
Yeah.
College.
That's a bribery.
Yeah.
Leads to bribery.
I wouldn't doubt that for a second. But here's the thing. People are speculating what Jussie Smollett has connections or ties with the Obama administration. But there was an attorney that was connected with Michelle Obama that interfered with the whole thing, and that's out there too. There's Fox, his former attorney. The statement was that she recused herself from the case last month after revealing that she had contact with Smollett's representatives early on in the investigation. She declined to provide details at the time, but it has ties that a politically connected lawyer was telling her to hand it over to the FBI, and to I don't, man, it looks so weird. He gets off like this. It's like this. To me, is it shows you. It's a great example of what real privilege looks like, and it's about connections. It's about, do you have money, do you have fame, and do you know who's someone? Do you know people in the right places? Now I need to take a quick break real fast. I need to let my dogs out. So Becky, SK, y'all
no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He has to go water the midgets.
I gotta go water the midgets. Do some R. Kelly in the basement with midgets. Midgets of age, by the way. Jesus, did an R. Kelly joke. Jesus Christ.
Midget hookers.
Midgets hookers of age. Okay.
By the way, Jussie is in the market for a used stripper pole for the basement.
Nice.
Oh, gross. Oh, gross. I don't know whether I'm going to be sicker if it's funny. It's funny.
The word used in there did change.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I hear you've got one on hand.
SK, damn it. Damn it, SK.
There you go. I have to earn my nickname. Hey, Becky.
Yes, sir.
I think we need to have a new feature that runs like once a week where we have you saying your Becky words.
Oh Lord.
Becky words, huh?
Becky words. Becky has these delightfully quirky pronunciations occasionally, and they're highly entertaining. And I mean that seriously. They just make me giggle.
Well, but you would have to say the word, and I'd have to say it after you, so that people would know what I was saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got a new one today.
Oh God, yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yep, frog.
Yeah.
Frog.
It's a frog.
Are you going to elaborate?
Say it again, Becky.
It's a frog.
Frog. Or something. Frog. Like that.
Oh, there's
you have a great laugh, Becky.
Thank you. How many are on your list now, SK?
It's not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 words is all so far.
6.
I haven't heard hawk in a long time.
It's a hawk.
Hawk, which actually was the last name of a friend from high school. Hawk, not hawk.
Where is your accent from, Becky?
Tennessee.
I'm sorry?
Tennessee,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
No,
that isn't what makes her a bad person. Absolutely.
You hush. What's another Becky word?
Crown.
Crown.
You can't say crown.
No. What? No. Oh, I'm sorry. Crowd.
Crowd.
Oh.
Crowd.
Yeah.
Crowd. But crowd sounds cool.
I think you've gotten better at that one.
But
crowd.
What?
You know
Crown?
what? You know what I say? I say we just have an accent.
Crayon.
It was
crayon. Crayon. Yeah.
Crown sounds like
crown.
Is that what you guys do when I leave you guys here? I just talk about pronouncing words and shit.
I'm thinking we need
maybe.
Well, it's better than talking about what you're doing.
Oh. I was letting my dogs out to go pee. Yeah.
Kelly in the comments says she wants to hear Jesse say coffee.
Coffee. Like that? Like coffee. Like that?
That sounds normal. Normal. That's weird. What?
Oh,
I don't know what.
You mean Kofi? Kofi, right?
When would you? Why would you say Kofi?
I mean, Kofi's the real way. That's how you really pronounce it. Coffee's just.
It is.
I don't know. I don't have no idea.
I don't drink it. I don't drink coffee.
Oh, you don't drink it?
I don't either.
No.
Ew.
I actually don't like coffee.
Well, I don't think a lot of people actually like coffee. They just like to put the sugar and the whatever makes it flavorful. That's what they like. I mean, if they really drink coffee...
I can't drink it even with that in it.
Oh, well.
I can't, man. I can't.
Like, I could drink black coffee. I could drink straight up coffee. I could do that. Do I like that? No. It has to have some creamer in it. And it has to have something in it. Maybe some whiskey or something. But that's straight up coffee is harsh.
Yeah. Really bitter.
But it's weird though. It's all the little things that men will use. Oh man, that's you know, I drink my coffee black as if like some sort of bragging right. I drink my coffee black. I'm more man than you. So, you never had that?
I mean, yeah. And they make fun of the long ass Starbucks order.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As long as you don't extend your pinky when you're drinking it.
Oh fuck! I do that. Man, I'm doing that now with the whiskey by accident. What does that mean? Is that a
you raise your pinky to drink whiskey? You're gonna lose that finger, you know.
Oh fuck! Oh man.
Somebody's gonna lop that sucker off if you do that more than once, especially in Texas.
I know, right? I mean, like, what's gonna happen here? That's horrible.
My lord,
it's horrible,
man.
Let me get this guy's face off the screen.
Now I hear the partridges singing, "Come on, get happy." Yeah, none of you are probably old enough to remember that.
Oh, I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm young.
I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
I'm a young guy. Let me get Jussie Smollett's face off the screen because honestly, his face is.
Yeah, I'm tired of looking at him.
Yeah, when I see him, I'm just like, man.
It's all over the TV today.
You got off. You got off, and if anybody else did that, they would.
Are they going to now call that hairstyle a Smollett?
Yes, they should. You know what? They should just call future hate crimes that are hoaxes a Smollett. Oh, he just did a Smollett. Oh man, totally a Smollett. Watch, that's gonna happen.
Well, I'm just glad that they found out though before, huge damage was done, or
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, the police found out real fast. Looking at the police report, it actually didn't take them very long to figure it out. It just kind of, because they released the report. You can read it. It's heavily redacted, but you can read it. It's there. Interesting. Anyway,
it's just so horrible how humanity divides against itself. Whether it's by gender or
it is that team mentality.
Just anything, we're full of hate.
Yeah, and don't think it wasn't any different back in the old days too. It's all like my clan versus your clan, right. My tribe, your tribe. My team wears the red ties. Your team wears the blue ties. Oh yeah, my team doesn't even wear those ties. It wears the green ties. What the fuck is a green tie? Get the fuck out of here. You're not in this fight. That's and in the background.
Sharks
like,
and the Jets, man.
There's people fighting. Let me see if we can rake in some cash off their fight. Yeah. Some wild card motherfuckers.
There's always opportunists out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think now would be appropriate time to. Do y'all feel in the mood to share some embarrassing stories? Because that's also on tonight's agenda. Embarrassing story.
Yes, it is. You go first. Lead by example.
Lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
And I just finally remembered an embarrassing story, but it really is embarrassing.
Ooh, man. Man, oh man. Okay. I can I got one. It's pretty bad. It's one that when I think about it, I owe a lot to my wife. She helped me out in my lowest moments. Some of my lowest moments.
You owe her cash?
He may after this story.
Oh well, that's another moment. But no, okay. Let me stick to the story. Okay, so I don't know. It was her birthday, and we got a bunch of alcohol, and my version of events is we were drinking it. But really, I was the one drinking it.
My version.
I was the one.
Always a good qualifier.
I was the one drinking it and enjoying it. Actually, when I was at the liquor store, for some reason, I found this bottle of not gin, Gin, but like gin, Genn, like short for Jennifer. I was like, okay, well that's my wife's name. Let me get this. This looks interesting. It was like this weird liqueur. It was like one of those like blends. It wasn't really. I don't know what it really was, like a vodka or whatever. But I got it. It was a huge bottle. Pretty much drinking that all night, and that whatever it was in there mixed with the Chinese food, and I was I was having a great time. We were watching some movie. I forgot what we were watching, but I was enjoying the moment, everything. But next thing I know, I'm like hunched over in the toilet, and the Chinese coming up. The Chinese, ooh, the lo mein. It was a dish at this local Chinese place called the Drunken Noodle. Very delicious stuff.
The Drunken Noodle. That's quite appropriate. Yeah.
It's lo mein with some, I don't know, spicy ingredients, I guess.
The Drunken Noodle, a middle-aged man's nightmare.
The whiskey dick.
God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all that stuff coming up.
I couldn't resist, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's all right.
It looked like straight up seaweed, like coming out of me.
Oh,
all over the place. And the worst thing is, I didn't make it to the toilet. I was there, but I missed it. I was in a pool of my own vomit. Like the floor was vomit. It was like a lake of vomit. And my wife, who was not, I think she.
So your aim was not real good, huh?
No. And you keep in mind, my wife, who's my wife now, was actually just my girlfriend at the time. She cleaned it up. And we're still together.
Yeah, there's a keeper.
No doubt.
Yep.
True love.
That is true love right there.
I had to drug you outside and use the hose because, oh my God.
Let me tell you what she was thinking while she was cleaning up.
You want to tell me? Because I know what she was. She told. Oh, okay, you tell me.
She's thinking, one of these days,
I'm going to get the wax his crack.
I'm gonna. When I really, really need it, this card is gonna get played. This is the ace of aces.
Yeah.
What was she thinking, really? You said she told you. So what was she thinking?
Oh, I could see it on her face. The look of just pure shame.
Pure love.
The look of, you fucked up. I hate you. I'm doing this. It was a look of shame that I thought only a mom could give you. But it was like you let me down. Like you have reached a low so low. If you go any lower, I'm going to gut you like a fish. And I don't know. It was a crazy look, and she reminds me of that. Every time I go a little too far, too many drinks in, she's like, I'm not cleaning this one up, right? Like, yeah. Because this is actually the second time. Let that sink in. This was actually the second time.
You mean you did it once and she came back?
Yeah. The second time.
She must have really liked you.
That's a whole other story. Actually, the second time even has video footage. I can show you that video footage one day.
Oh, no.
Not now.
No.
Oh, man.
Man, she must have thought you were going to be a millionaire one day.
Maybe.
Yeah. What did you tell her? You lied to her.
I don't know. I told her I was some famous author. I'm writing books. Stephen King. Guess what? I'm the son he forgot about. He don't know about me. Yeah.
That's funny.
So that's my crazy, embarrassing story. Who wants to go next?
I think it's just a story of true love.
Oh. So it wasn't really embarrassing, is what you're saying.
Oh, it could be both.
I guess it's kind of.
Oh, it was embarrassing.
I think it shows how much he loves you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of sweet, man.
Mm.
You must be quite the catch.
I guess so. Let's see.
Well, to put up with that, I mean, that's love there.
Yeah, it is. That's true love. All right. Yes. So, our guest of honor. Do you have a story? Please tell me you have a story.
Yes.
Okay. Come on.
It's probably better for me that I don't remember this, but.
Okay.
I was.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just going to say that preceding your yes with a deep sigh is very telling. And I think it's going to be a good story.
I'll probably hate myself on this one, but you know what? It was over 3 decades ago. So.
And I have a rule: I don't edit anything. It's in. That's it.
Okay.
I'm just
okay. All right.
Well. All right.
But it's just the
all right.
internet.
Here we go.
It'll be lost. It'll get lost before long.
Yeah. We'll see. It'll probably haunt me later, but I was supposed to meet my friend. We were both single at this place called Coyotes in Clearwater, Florida, for Naughty Nighty Night. We thought we were going to have a good time, right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, it turned out that my friend never showed up, and I got angry, and I didn't wait for Naughty Nighty Night. I left, and I'm driving back, and there is a tie-in in this story, so maybe it's interesting to tell. But there's this place. Aha. I am driving down what is known as US 19. It's like midnight. And on my left, I see this nude bar called Fantasy. Something like that. Fantasy Nude. And I'm like, I've never been there. And here's the bad part of the story. I am drunk. I shouldn't be driving. So it's like one time. So, I mean, this is embarrassing to admit that I was driving drunk, but I'm like 20 years old.
We have low moments too. So don't worry.
We all make our, I am ashamed actually of that part. I don't want to sound proud of that at all.
I get you on that.
Yeah. I mean, I would never want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Be stupid. But anyway, I pull into this place and I go in, and in the front, when you walk in the door, there's a bunch of couches. And then there's the bouncer standing there. And then you go in, and there's a whole bunch more couches in the stage, right? A little, like, one-step stage. Well, there's probably 5 guys in the place and 3 dancers.
Okay.
All right. And only one of the dancers is attractive.
Now, these
but I'm
drunk.
Ladies?
These ladies, these dudes, so what kind of dancers? What kind of club is this?
They're female dancers.
Okay.
But there's like 5 guys probably sitting around in there. And as I go in, I notice that what the dancers do is they dance one song with their clothes on, and it was such a cheesy place that there was actually a phonograph off to the side, and they changed their own records.
Oh, man.
And they
their own DJ.
Yes.
Wow.
And the second song they play, of course, they just come out nude, right? Mm-hmm. And they're dancing, and I'm sitting there, and to add to my embarrassment, but when you're drunk, you don't really care that much, but there's a guy I know in there that I worked with at the time. and I'm like, oh, swell. Well, somebody knows I was here. Mm-hmm. And he's not really a friend, but I don't hate him or anything, but he's nothing to do with the story. But this one woman comes up to me, and she's really not attractive, but I'm drunk enough where I don't care.
Yeah.
And she takes me up front for a couple of these dances.
Okay. And sounds good.
And at some point later, we're talking, and she's telling me, my car broke down, and I really need some help. And, I'm going, oh, okay, well, I'll help you. Here's my phone number, right? And I'm there till the place closes down. Thank God, because towards the end, I'm pretty sober, but I'm also wondering what I've done, right?
Yeah.
And I'm driving home, and I'm still living at home with my parents.
Okay.
And I go to bed, and I wake up the next morning, and when I go out to the dining room, there's my mom talking with her best friend, who's this wild woman that my mom and her would get into all kinds of trouble, having fun. But, so this is a woman that's like a second mom to me, but she's like the crazy mom, right?
Yeah.
Well, I go ahead and I tell them my story, and I tell them I'm worried this woman's going to call me, and I don't want to talk to her, right? And I'm kind of panicking. I don't, because I don't want to be mean to her, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they go, well, you know what? You just tell them that damn friend of mine used my name again. If she does call, right? And then you're not being mean to her.
Yeah.
You're not being mean. And so I'm so relieved, and I'm so glad I talked to him. And I walk back, and I go in the bathroom, and I look in the mirror, and there's lipstick all over my face. This woman, I'm walking around like that. So just think, and she had to have been laughing at me. And they heard my mom and her friend just saw me like this and didn't even crack a smile. They knew. So anyway, I guess.
Oh man!
And then the final tie-in to that is in Dead Tide. I put that bar in there. That's where the stripper was.
Oh, sweet.
So
okay, that's pretty cool.
So there, a little history then.
So you were there talking to your mom and your mom's friend about advice, not knowing you had all these kisses all over your. Not knowing you had all. Oh man, thinking you were being like the good boy, going to your mom and her friend for some for helpful advice, and there was the evidence.
It's like I got a.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Big loser on my head,
Was so
Big
sure
L.
they had already talked to her.
I think
you were thinking that's where it was going, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She never called me.
Oh.
I dodged that bullet. She never called.
That's good. That's a good bullet to dodge.
Yeah.
So does Becky?
So was that a worthy story? What's that?
Oh, Becky has a good story.
That
was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Story. I'm just wondering if Becky has any stripper stories.
No, I don't know any strippers.
Well, does anybody really?
Well, I don't know.
Can you really know a stripper?
Well, I guess I mean, you
can. They're people too, man. Come on. They're people too.
Well, yeah. So my story goes back to.
Does that involve strippers?
No. Well, see, I was.
Are midgets?
And I was like kindergarten. It's a really simple story.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
Well, so I lived in a. Not a town at all. It was an area that was outside of all of the city limits.
Oh, you lived in not a town. Oh, that's a good place. Not a town. You lived there too?
Yeah, it was a big area.
Yeah.
And we lived on a dead-end street that intersected with the main east-west thoroughfare in the area. Mm-hmm. And it went down. It was this little valley thing, and I had come from a large family, and everybody had pretty good-sized families in those days. And one sunny afternoon, for some reason, out alongside this busy road, two-lane road, but it's still pretty busy. Mm-hmm. My older brothers and some other kids from the neighborhood got into a rock fight across the street, throwing rocks at each other across the street at each other. Mm. And not to be left out, I pushed down a rock that's probably a bit too big for me at that age. And I gave it a good heave, and suddenly this car appears.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
So I'm so small, I don't even see what happens. All I see is cringes from the kids across the street.
Whoa.
And man, I took off running.
Oh, Oh,
but where am I gonna go, right?
Yeah, where did you go?
I went and crawled up into a tree until my dad came out and got me and took me inside.
And
had a talking to.
Oh man.
And
this story sounds oddly familiar.
Does it?
Well, because there was a time when I was growing up. I think it was like an elementary school or something. I was in a ditch with my sister, and we were playing. I just throw rocks. We're playing a game called Throw Rocks. We're just throwing rocks over the road. Why we're doing this, I don't know, but it was fun. We're just throwing rocks over the road, and it just so happened a car would come, and we threw a rock, and it hit. Where did my ass go? I hauled ass to my home. To my home. I went under my covers in my room. Went in my room, got in my bed, went under covers. And I hear the knock.
That's funny.
The knock, right? And I hear my dad talking to someone at the door. I was like, fuck. Of course, I didn't know what fuck was at the time. What the hell was I saying? I was like, oh, shit. No, forget it. Oh my god. What's happening? And my dad starts laughing. The guy starts laughing. And next thing I know, my dad was calling me. Well, it was mud, if anything. And I hit the truck with mud, like mud clumps. Oh, God. Because it had just rained. It was, I don't know, man. But yeah, I did not get beaten that night. It was just talking to. It was interesting. It was interesting. Yeah. Anyway, Becky.
Yeah, the driver of my car was pretty hot under the collar. I'll tell you that. Yeah, he was pissed.
You sound like you threw a rock, a huge one, a boulder, if anything.
Well, I mean, it was big for me. It was big enough that I couldn't make it across the road. I never did see what that windshield looked like. I was too short.
Holy hell. Yeah. Becky. Do you have anything that could top that?
Becky, yeah.
Oh, God. Well, I can tell you stories about dumb shit that I've done all day long, and I mean,
okay.
But no,
we'll do that on Friday.
You can have a whole show of Becky, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, no, Lord, we'd lose all of our listeners. Are you kidding?
Are you kidding? They'll come around just to hear you talk.
Yeah. Yep.
No.
I mean, they're not coming from my ass.
Well, they might be. You never know.
I don't know. All right, so tell the story. Tell the story.
Okay. Well, one of my favorite ones wasn't about me being embarrassed. It was my mom and dad being embarrassed. But it wasn't from anything I did. It was something they did. My parents are both very, very smart. Then I'll tell one about something stupid I did. Don't worry. My parents are both really, really smart. Both retired teachers. And I lived in Florida at the time for a few years in Tampa. Actually, I lived in Gibsonton and worked in Tampa. But anyway, my mom had called and said, "We're coming down for Christmas. What do you want us to bring you?" And I said, a Christmas tree, because the ones around here all just look horrible. They just, they're just so thin and they don't have any, they're just not fluffy like the ones we have. And Mom said, "You want me to bring you a real Christmas tree?" She said, "It won't have any needles on it by the time I get there." And I said, "No, Mom, I mean a fake one." And she went, "Oh, okay, good." So they bought a Christmas tree and they brought it. Well, my dad is a perfectionist and he has to bend every branch the same direction, and they all have to be so many degrees, and he has to fluff the tree, as my mother calls it. And by the time he gets done and he spent 12 hours on it, it's perfect. Okay. And it really does look good when he does that. Mm-hmm. So Mom and I decide that we're going to go to Walmart and get lights and ornaments for the tree. So while we're doing that, I left my roommate Heather with Dad and said, I'm warning you. He's liable to fuss at it, and he's, just ignoring. I said, it'll be funny.
Yeah.
So we came back, and she's sitting on the couch, and she kind of has big eyes, and I went, what? And she said, well, you were right. He did fuss at it. And I said, yeah, I knew he would. I said, but sit down because it's about to get real good now. She said, Becky, you're not being nice. And I said, well, I'm not kidding. I said, you just wait. So we gave Dad the lights for the Christmas tree. And we got like 5 or 6 strings of them. And, he winds the branches with the lights. And, I'm sure that they all had the exact same number of lights on it. When he gets to the last little bit and, he's done, and he stands back and he turns around and he looks at me and he's got this look on his face. And I went, oh, shit, here we go. And he goes, I'm going to have to take all these off here. And I said, what? He said, I'm going to have to take all these lights off here. And I said, why? And then he goes, because how am I going to get them all to come on? And I said, well, you plug one string into one string into the other, another string in, and then you plug them all into the wall. And my dad says, no, that won't work. And so my roommate starts giggling, and I'm like, oh, here we go. So my mother gets up and goes over there to help him. And they have a little conference over there by the Christmas tree. And my mother turns around and looks at me, and she says, yeah, he's right. It ain't gonna, he's gonna have to take them all back off. And so now my roommate, I went, oh God. So now my roommate's in tears. She's laughing so hard. I said, I told you so. And well, you know me, I have a couple of snide remarks here and there about, this is why they have me. Okay. Yeah, no, not me. Not a smart ass ever.
And your dad tolerates that? What's your dad gonna do?
He ignores me.
Ah.
Well, he tuned me and Mom out for many years, believe me. So I get up and go over there before Dad can rip the tree apart.
He did what?
He tuned me and Mom out for many years. Shut up.
Tuned?
Tuned, huh?
What?
He tuned?
Tuned us out.
Tuned. He tuned. I'm sorry, Becky. I love
God
you.
She's a good sport about you guys teasing her, though. Yes.
She's a great sport.
Becky is phenomenal. I think Becky is what helps make the show possible.
Absolutely. Is there more to the story, by the way?
There is.
Yes.
I think I heard this one before.
There is. You have, Jesse.
Okay.
So I go over there and I plug this light strand into this one and this one into this one and that one into that one, and I plug them all into the wall, and they're amazed. They couldn't believe it. And so I look at them and I go, and y'all are teaching the children. Which got me swatted, but it was really funny.
It got you swatted?
Yeah, my mom swatted at me with
totally
whatever
different
she had in her hand.
Totally different thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not you didn't get like a whole, cops coming down your door with guns in your face, that sort of swatting. You just got
no. Swatting is smacked with something.
You got thumped.
There was a story I kind of wanted to cover tonight, but I was like, nah, it's not that funny. But now hearing your silly story, yeah, it is. Believe it or not, right now, I think some schools in California think it's a good idea to do these like active shooter drills. I mean, they do these things called lock-ins.
Oh, God.
But the active shooter drill,
duck and cover, huh?
A teacher actually acts as the shooter with like BB guns or some sort of Nerf gun or something, and they're like going around and doing things like execution style to other teachers in front of the kids. Like,
no, it was the cops doing it.
Man, I heard it was the teachers doing it.
They were grabbing the teachers one by one, taking them into another room, and shooting them with airsoft pellets
That is
in the
horrible.
back of the head.
It's traumatizing the kids for what? Oh my god!
And there was another case.
That's
where
not even funny.
Where the police conducted an active shooter drill and didn't fucking tell the school that it was a drill.
Wow.
That's
well, I do think it's
really
important to prepare people for things. You know, if you like, they should do something to prepare kids on what their options are, what they can do if something happens. Because if you train and practice enough, then hopefully somebody survives. You know, but
generating PTSD is not the way to do that.
No, it graphically, doing some of that stuff, it stays with kids. Yeah.
So do you want me to tell you a funny, stupid story that I did now?
Sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Well, when I was little, I embarrassed my mother. Imagine that. I'm sure I embarrassed her quite often as, I seem to be pretty good at that. But, my mom and dad were devout Southern Baptist, and they had Bible school. And I guess I was probably 6 or so. And they took me to Bible school, and at the end of a week long of Bible school, they have what they call a commencement, and they have all the kids stand up front by their classes, and they sing a little song, and they tell about it and whatever. So, well, it seems that, and I don't remember this part of it, but it seems that I might have kind of sort of bit a little boy in our class, and I don't know why, but
You're a vampire.
He didn't.
It may have been in the class, but where did you bite him?
I don't have any clue. Probably wherever I could get
that
my
sounds like
hands on
political
it.
speech. No. Like his neck?
Come on, you have to total confession here.
You're not on trial here, Becky. We're a couple of friends. We just want to know.
Probably his arm.
Nobody's listening.
Or his finger. Shut up. So, anyway, when they stood us in line for the commencement, they must have forgot because they stuck him next to me, and he did not want to have any part of that. Well, of course, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to stood next to the little girl that bit me either, but, you know. So they rearranged the line, and they got us all up there on the stage in the front of the church before our parents and God and everybody else and everybody in between here and there. And the teacher squatted down in front of us.
Okay.
So that the parents could see the kids. Well, I squatted down too.
Okay.
and my mom was like, oh my God. Well, that got uncomfortable, so I sat down. Well, I must have gotten tired of sitting down because after that, I laid down. And when we got done singing, they told us that we could go back to go sit with our parents. Well, obviously, they had bribed us and told us that we were going to sing and then we could go back to the room and get candy. Well, nobody gave me my damn candy, and I was mad. So when they sent me back to sit with my mom, I screamed in the middle of the church, I want my candy. My mom said, I've never been so embarrassed before in my life. But she has, too. I know she has, because she embarrassed her own self in church.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't I have a sweet, funny story like you to tell? Why
well, here's the thing.
You know, the thing is that Becky was 16 at the time.
Yeah.
I was not. You shut up. And I'm still biting people, damn it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she has the best laugh, I gotta say.
She does. That's what I'm saying. She helps make the show. It does. Like, she's a keeper. She stay on the show pretty much forever. Forever.
Well, until you get tired of me and throw me out,
No, you are like a great balance. Because if it's just me, it's like Mr. Deadman just doing a bunch of mansplaining around here. You throw Becky on there, you get that balance. You get that balance there. You get SK.
You guys are all fun. Just so I say that.
SK.
You guys are all fun.
He is more stubborn. He's actually more stubborn than I am.
He's a grumpy old man.
Wasn't
it you that said that he was a grumpier version of you?
I think he is, in a way. That's why I was very surprised about the rock story.
Let this be a warning to you. This is where you
Oh, man.
And Jesse finds out tomorrow that the wife is really not happy with him.
And
you cannot turn into that.
I take my dog for a walk.
Because your dog peed.
Yeah.
And your dog peed and you fell on it.
Yeah. Man, I might be talking to my future self. I don't know. I have no idea. I gotta put that. That should be.
There's a reason why we've never met in person.
Yeah, that should be a poll. Ask people in the
minute.
Facebook group.
We have a.
Oh, we did. We have a few things, actually.
We have a caption contest.
Yes, and let me throw that image on the screen. Actually, let me just share the Facebook group thing. 1 second. Okay, so it's a caption contest, and the people who have the person who has the funniest caption wins an ebook. All right, so here is on the stream is the image. This is it. It's me sleeping,
and he's taking a nap.
Yeah, I think my wife took this picture.
Actually. What a little angel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot.
That's what my mom used to always say. She used to tell me, "You're so cute when you're asleep." And I said, "Yeah, and quiet too."
But only when you're asleep. Only when you're asleep. That's
right.
What parents mean when they say that. Yeah. Otherwise, you're a little hell demon, a little spawn.
Hell yeah, I was.
Okay, so Becky,
I'll admit it.
Do you want to do you want to do the favor and read the comments? And I'll choose which one's the funniest, I guess. Actually, we as a group can choose who's the funniest.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, the first comment says, he should have passed out with those chips glasses of his.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your sunglasses.
My sunglasses. Yeah.
The next one is, wait, whose hand is that?
I think that's actually my hand. That looks, yeah. Oh my God, I'm like
Jesse loves him. Jesse loves himself.
No.
I'm like crossed like
the
this.
next one is I hope he enjoyed the chloroform.
Okay.
If you look closely at the hand, he's pretty much saying "fuck you."
I do have a little middle finger going on. Yeah, I do.
His mom bought the bedding.
All right.
Morgan Freeman documentary voice. Today we will remove the lid of the coffin to see how the vampire sleeps in the wild. Notice the hand placement. This protects his heart from predators. Unfortunately, we can only view this phenomenon for a minute before we must close the coffin, lest he be burned to ash.
That's interesting. It actually, looking at the hand, it does kind of have like it does look very feminine and also kind of vampiric, doesn't it? Is that just me?
And
it's just you.
I mean, it looks freaky. It looks freaky.
Oh my God!
It doesn't even look like a hand. It looks freaky.
It does not look freaky.
It looks so freaky. It looks weird.
No, it doesn't.
It does. Actually, you know what?
If
you were to crop it, it would look like
creeping me out.
Something else. If you were just to zoom in,
creeping me out, man. He said.
If you were to, let me zoom in. If you zoom in on just the hand, it would look like something else, something very graphic. Let's see if I can zoom into it.
Hey, someone else just posted another comment.
What is this? See, that looked like a butt cheek right there when I zoomed in.
Hold
I
on,
zoomed in
let
so
me
close, it looked like a butt cheek. You see that? Maybe you don't see
Oh,
it.
no.
No. What am I doing? I'm just playing around. Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're
Why
getting
do
at.
I want to?
Okay. What are the other comments?
Sorry, man. Am I a bad man? Am I a bad man?
Here's a couple more.
Okay, let's read.
Okay, here's a couple
let's read the
more.
comments. Don't let me distract you, Becky.
Just lying here with my hand between these two pillows. Wait, those aren't pillows. The next one. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill him because he knows I was gonna.
Some of these people are pretty rough on you, man.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
they love him.
I encourage it.
This next one, I'm gonna kill him because he knows, and I'm the one that would have to read this. The chronic masturbator can be identified by the way it clutches itself even in the midst of sleep, unable to stop the compulsive self-abuse even in slumber. Damn it, Mikey.
Oh, God. No.
I got one.
He looks so peaceful. My work is completed.
Okay.
And then the last one is angel dreaming.
No.
Who put that? Who did that? Who would say that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh God.
Oh, no. Someone's dead.
Oh,
This is what Jesse does when his wife is cleaning up his vomit.
dreaming of phallic symbols.
Oh God, phallic symbols.
Like the North Pole?
Yeah. Yes, like the North
My
Pole.
brother is the one
How many times have you used
that wrote that one.
that joke?
You know, I never thought to call it that until after I got divorced. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I can explain the whole the story behind that and why he chose that word.
Why? Why did he choose the word
Chose
phallus?
what word?
Phallus. Someone in the comments section said phallus. What's going on, Becky? Why are you snorting and laughing? What's going on with phallus?
Because stop saying it.
Phallus. It's just a phallus.
Stop saying that word.
What, phallus?
Men sing
Huh.
phallus at will to young women.
What about the name Phyllis? Is
Like
Phyllis
saying
funny?
me to old ladies.
Because Phyllis is pretty much saying phallus. Every woman named Phyllis is pretty much a slip of the tongue of a phallus. If you meet a Phyllis in real life, you gotta explain to her you probably want to change your name because whoever named you was thinking phallus. They came up with Phyllis.
It's sad times when passing ruffians say phallus
If your
to
mom's
young
name,
ladies at will.
if your mom's name is Phallus, Phyllis, then I hate to tell you this, but you need to have the conversation with her and be like, you probably need to change your name, unless you're cool with it. And I'm not shaming your mom.
No.
Anyway, somehow
Phallus, a stiff version of Phyllis.
Yeah, I mean, somehow this word makes Becky laugh. This is her kryptonite. It breaks her. You just say it, she just laughs. Phallus. Becky's
Somebody needs to get a handle on this conversation.
SK is just sighing over here, like he's bored. Throw some other words in here. Make her laugh. Poke at her.
We need a winner. We need a wiener for this.
We do.
A wiener, yeah.
I think I laughed the most to the chronic masturbator, of course, and then of course the vampire thing. That was
So which one?
You know what? Let me, for change, go the unpervy route and go vampire. Let me do that one. Yeah, I'll do that one.
That was Ralph Moody.
He's winning everything.
Damn it. Didn't he win last time?
Yeah, he's just winning everything.
Yeah.
Send him another ebook. He's gonna have all the ebooks.
So first prize is a ebook. Second prize is 2 ebooks.
No.
You know, that is a nice twist, though. Give 2 books to the second place person.
Yeah, right. Third place, 3 books. I'm just handing out ebooks.
It's different. No one's ever done that before.
No.
We're going to reward the second place person.
Oh man! So this caption contest was great. Oh, we also, by the way, have a voice message. See, a few episodes ago, I put out there that, hey, if you send a voice message to the Facebook page, we'll play it. And I had to remind someone today that they could do it and also kind of show them how they did it. And the message I got was kind of a response to that. So this should be interesting.
Hey, you know what I'm willing to do?
Oh,
if you
Lord.
want to add to the prize, I'll send a free ebook to whoever you pick for the winner if you want. They can pick whichever of my books they want. How's that sound?
Sweet. Okay.
I need to know their email.
Well, it looks like I picked Ralph Moody.
Oh, okay.
So Ralph Moody, we need to hook Ralph Moody up with Mr. North, Stephen North, and set him up. Okay, so here's the message. This is from
I will take care of that.
Teresa Scott Matthews. Here we go.
Ah.
These are very short, by the way, because they're Facebook messages.
Well, only 3 fucking.
You know what? Because I like the second prize winner.
Hmm?
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's do a free book to each of the first and the second place. Go ahead.
Oh, there wasn't really a second place. I mean, it was.
There isn't a second. Okay.
No,
well, we'll just go with one.
Winner. There's not a.
All right. We don't have to be crazy here.
Yeah. There's a winner. Then everyone else is losers. Okay. Sounds so mean. Anyway, here's the first message, and what I get is someone, I guess, tell me how hard it is to do this thing.
Well, only 3 fucking steps to send a voicemail.
So apparently it takes 3 steps to send a voicemail, which on Facebook Messenger, I guess. I mean, so this is what you do. This is what I could say here. Let me just pull this up. Let me go to, I guess, the page. You just go to the Deadman's Tome Facebook page. It looks like this. I know it's kind of cropped for reasons, because I know it's a public platform, but not everyone wants all their shit shared. I don't see it, but you would see here like a send message. You just click that, and you send a message. You can send a voice message. And that's what you do. And whatever you send, of course, I'll screen it. I'll play it. And we can talk about it and joke about it and all this stuff. Raunchy stuff. Come on, guys. Interesting stuff. Maybe. We got SK here. SK wrote a self-help book. Ask him questions. Ask him questions. I like hearing him give advice.
Yeah. Ask me. I dare you. Fuckers. I dare you to ask me a question.
Oh man. Well, Steven, I mean, I guess the question I usually end the show with is, what is your favorite horror movie? But I think I might know. But what is your favorite horror movie?
I think you might.
Dawn of the Dead?
I guess we're going to have to go with that. Yeah. And I really like the remake too.
The remake was
the
cool.
first 20 minutes of that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was like flipped out, you know. Ving Rhames saying, "Say something."
Mm-hmm.
Shoving that shotgun in her face. I was like just blown away.
And that beginning scene was pretty intense. I mean, of course,
yeah.
In that version, the zombies moved fast too. They're runners,
right? Right.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing that bothered me is they just got to the mall too soon. I wish they had spent more time before they got to it.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
And I was really, man, I loved the ending, how they were during the credits, they were showing what happened to them when they went to the island.
Mm-hmm.
But I was pissed at the same time because I didn't want them to die. I wanted another movie. That once they got to the island, you know,
so that would have been cool. Like,
wasn't happy.
You keep the group
but
alive.
it was really cool the way they ended it. It was cool.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's what they'll do now. If they were to remake a movie now, they'll probably try to find a way to keep the illusion that the characters are probably alive, so they can make another spinoff or another version. You know, they just want to milk it for all it's worth, like they did with the new Halloween movie. Michael Myers is still alive, apparently, somehow.
Yeah.
Because guess what? There's going to be more of those movies.
Not?
Yep. Why not?
It's not like it has to make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. It's not like you could create another franchise with another masked killer. Or maybe do something different? Oh, no, that's just unbelievable. That's absurd. Costs too much. Advertising costs too much. But you're already.
I really wish Hollywood would branch out some and take some chances on some new things instead of sticking with these Saw 8 or whatever. You know, I mean,
well,
yeah.
Give me something new.
They have a really an incentive system that does not support that.
Yeah.
And that's really the crux of the problem is that there's, you know, the executives who make these decisions, if they fuck it up, they're fired. And if they're fired, they may not work at all.
Yeah. It'd be one of the homeless. You know, one of the homeless in LA.
You know, yeah. I mean, you could end up selling BMWs, right?
That,
and it's a real come down for, you know, a studio exec.
Mm-hmm. Actually have to work.
Right. So there's no protection. You make a risky call and you're betting your livelihood on it. Not just your job, but your entire livelihood.
But, you know, man, think about Quentin Tarantino. That guy, he just goes out and he makes movies that are totally different than what these other guys are doing. I mean,
he's a wild card,
and he's successful at it. You know, I mean, I've found most of what he's made engaging. You know, I can't say he gets it right every time, but man, that Nazi movie he did with killing Hitler, the beginning of that was like that guy he had playing the SS guy was so convincing and evil. I mean, I was like blown away by that.
Mm-hmm. Great character. Great. He did
such
a good job. He stayed in for another role.
Part of the deal with Tarantino is one is he got started before things were this bad. And two, he had nothing to lose. He was coming in. He was
You're right.
A goddamn Blockbuster employee when he started.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Well, he had nothing to lose, and so he could just do what he wanted, and if nobody liked it, then so what?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you get a guy who's been 20 years in the industry, and he's got a mansion in the hills, and 14 alimony payments every month. You know, he's risking a ton with every choice he makes, and he doesn't want to lose his perks and his money and his position, and he's going to find the least risky thing he can possibly do.
Yep, even if it's going to be Saw 8 or Saw 9 or bring back Child's Play, or
if you try to duplicate something that worked in the past and it doesn't, and you can't quite pull it off, not a big deal. You take a risk and you can't pull it off, you're out the door.
Mm-hmm.
You're holding a cardboard sign on the corner.
Mm-hmm. And anymore though, lately.
But who do you admire more, the maverick that takes a chance on something? You know, I don't know. What do you want your memory to be? Somebody that didn't take any risks, or somebody that that did go ahead and take a chance and see what?
Question. That's a good question.
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of these guys, it seems like they don't really think about that. They don't really think about what their lasting memory is going to be. They think about how they can get paid and pay their bills. And while they have, mansions, big homes, all the fancy stuff, it's not cheap. Yeah. And of course, the lifestyle they live and the things that they have access to, that's a whole other conversation. The whole, the skeletons, the serpents, the snakes, the vipers of Hollywood,
That's redundant.
Yeah, I know. That's really. Okay. Mr. North, Stephen A. North. It was great having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on. Mm-hmm. Feel free to hop on any time. Pretty soon we're going to be... First, we have to come up with a game plan and then do the live stream, the 24-hour live stream. We're going to need guests jumping on throughout the time. So I'll let you go. I'll let everybody know what's going on with that. But feel free to hop on at any time. If you have a new book out, if you just want to talk about favorite horror movies, you just let us know.
Well, I hope that we can work together at some point, and I want to tell you how grateful I am. It's one of the best times I've had in a long time. Mm-hmm.
And SK,
you guys are very entertaining.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. It really does. SK, I think you want to plug your Real Monsters. You got Real Monsters tomorrow?
Real Monsters tomorrow.
Yay!
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Atlanta child murders from the late 70s, early 80s.
Ooh, wow. I don't know. I don't think I know much about that. But I'll be watching the show. I'll be watching the show to find out because...
Watch the show. Learn a thing or two for once, goddammit.
I know, right? It's good. It's good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good show. We have a good time on it, even though we deal with some very grim subjects.
Yes. And we used to stream on Streamy before they just killed themselves, pretty much. And you could get away with like graphic images and stuff. I'm worried because they used to have images like just crime scene photos, right? So like even if
crime scene photos, yeah.
Even it had like a nipple or breast or penis or mutilated face, whatever. But here we're back on YouTube and streaming here, and they have all these crazy like PC policies. Oh no, we don't want to offend anyone. Babies, yes, a bunch of babies. So, but it's a very cool show. I like it. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Press that thumbs up button, subscribe, share, let people know about this amazing show. Y'all take it easy. Thank you, Kelly.
Bye.
Good night.